So in a previous video, I used the GR2 40-liter shooter edition of the GORUCK to compare service volumes of both those bags, the 34 and 40 liters, to see if there was any difference as you packed them out. Turns out there was, but I decided to use this bag as a more robust go bag, probably the most robust bag you can ever find for a go mode. It's got a lot of real special features different from the standard GR2. Let's take a look at the GR2 40-liter shooter edition to see if it's something that you need to put in your arsenal, because there's a few available right now, not many, few colorways, but you can still find them, and it's the GR2 40-liter shooter edition. Let's do it. This thing is so big, but today we're looking at the GR2 40-liter shooter edition. Special edition ruck that GORUCK came out with just recently, and they produced shooter rucks in the past, and this one's really no different except it's in its largest size. And they came out with 3 different editions in the GR2, both 34 and 40 liters in this shooter configuration. So today we're going to look at the 40-liter version of it, because it's got a lot of great features that you might consider for either a range bag or a go bag, or just for a different version of the GR2 that you can pack out and configure in different ways. Why? Because it's really got Velcro all over the place that you could customize with any sort of attachments that you could find just about anywhere. So we're going to look at this bag, and we're also going to kind of delve into go bag packing. Now, I'm by no means an expert in go bag, and I'm not a prepper. I'm not any of those types of person, but I do think it's prudent to maybe have a bag packed with some safety essentials, regardless of the reason, whether it be a weather concern or forest fire concern or just general unrest. You never know in this day and age when you might need a go bag. Now, what you put in your go bag is going to be really a very, very personal decision. And whether it's mostly food and comfort items, or self-protection, or you're anticipating needing to camp, whatever it happens to be, this is a great bag to at least consider to pack out, because it's just very configurable and you can really access things in any configuration and from any angle. So I think it's a really great option. So I've packed this bag out with just some items I had around the house from different activities, backpacking, etc. So we're going to see what it looks like, the GR2 in go mode. Let's take a look at this, the biggest GR2 that GORUCK makes. Before we dive into the the inside features, the outside features of this fantastic bag, let's talk about go bags. Now, I kind of posted online a couple of, hey, what would you consider in a go bag? And then I looked at the internet, and man, let me tell you, there's just a lot of opinions on what to pack in a go bag, a lot of great considerations. But I kind of broke it down into a couple of categories, and then I kind of put some of those things in this bag so we can kind of see how it would fit. So when we go through the outside and inside features, we'll kind of look at it from the go bag lens. But anyway, this is a little bit about go bag. So a couple different categories, and I'll post some lists here as I talk through it. But one of them could be self-care. So first aid supplies, those kind of things. Another one could be sustain. Sustain category just being, I'm going to need food. I might need to be able to cook food. Maybe I want just some protein bars to get me for a while until I find food. Another category could be hydrate. So you're going to need to stay hydrated wherever you are. So you're going to need water bottles, water purification, maybe a life straw, collapsible water bottles, you name it. Definitely hydration is going to be a key factor if you're ever away from home. Protect. So protect is another great category, and again, I'm not going to dive too far into that, but this bag is, as we go into the inside features, very good at being able to secure firearms in different configurations, whether it be a short barrel rifle or pistols and ammo and all the accessories that we need to go with that. So protect is another category. Comfort, or just living. So you may leave your house in a fast manner, so you're going to want to have some spare clothes, socks, underwear, those kind of things, just some toiletries, some basics to keep you comfortable for some amount of time as you're away from home. And then just the catch-all category, utility. So pocket knives, quick starter for fire, whatever it happens to be. This is really a bottomless pit supplies you might need in the utility category, paracord, straps, those kind of things. And I'll kind of hit on those, some of these items when I go through how I pack this bag rather. Lastly, this bag, no matter what bag you have, the size of it kind of matters, right? So you might not want the 40-liter bag as your sort of go bag. You might opt for something smaller like a 26-liter regular configuration of GR2 to have most of your utility items and quick access items so that you're on the go and a little bit lighter, more agile as you evade your home or leave the house in a hurry. And so you might want to have a smaller bag. So a 2-bag setup might be what you need. The way that I sort of have this built out right now, this has all of my normally used and quick accessible supplies from first aid to comfort to food and hydration. So it's kind of has a little bit of everything in there, but not a lot of any one of those categories. So if I leave to go somewhere else and I want another bag, the way that I've sort of conceived it is that I would have, this would be my A bag, so everything in here. And the B bag would be bulkier items, and it would probably be in a kit bag, sleeping bag, sleeping bag, maybe even a tent, camp chair, whatever it is. Maybe the bigger food, cooking items, little camp stoves, that kind of thing would be in a B bag. Just in case, you know, if I'm not sleeping in a tent or need that, I might not need that B bag. But if I definitely go anywhere and need a go bag, I would need everything in this primary A bag. So that's just a little bit about packing, a little bit about categories. And again, this is a huge rabbit hole, and however you pack out your bag would be specifically tailored to where you are. If you're living in Colorado and you're worried about snowstorms or avalanches or wildfires, you might have a different bag than if you live in Florida. Or if you live somewhere warm or hot, cold, you name it, your terrain will definitely impact how you pack out your go bag. Okay, so that's a little bit about go bag. Let's dive into what the GR2 40-liter shooter edition looks like. A lot of fantastic features right out of the gate. And there's actually 3 different editions on the website, 2 different colors and 1 different configuration. They've got 1000D with the all the webbing all over it, and the compression straps on all of them, and then a patch panel. So this edition is obviously in the multicam black, my new favorite color. Not new, it's been my favorite color for a long time, but now I'm just really kind of diving into it with both feet. This is 1000D Cordura with everything. They also have a 500D version, slick version, which was actually really cool. And to be honest, if I can get a 34-liter slick edition in this, I will probably pick it up. To maybe some returns that recently got returned. But these are still available, the bigger 40-liter sizes in a couple different configurations. Definitely the multicam black was available when I picked this one up about a week ago. So right off the bat, you'll see, and again, why did I pick 1000D? Well, because this is the most indestructible version of this bag, 1000D Cordura with all the webbing. If it's a go bag, I don't want to worry about it. I just went big and I went thick. If you're going to go with a 500D Slick, I think is also a great option because it's going to be a little bit lighter and it's a little more stealthy because it doesn't have the patch panel. It doesn't look quite as tactical as this, but do what you need to do for you. Comparing this to a regular GR2, there's a lot, pretty much it's the same general configuration with pretty much 3 main differences. The first being what you see right off the front, and that is these compression straps that you can get added by Scars, no problem, and they'll happily do that. Did a video on Scars stuff a little bit ago about my heritage. But these are on all the tactical bags, on all the shooter bags, both sides, so that's really cool. Why is that really cool? Well, first of all, yes, it's nice to have compression, and if you're going in maybe a light and lean mode, with not maybe as much stuff as I have in here, you definitely want to compress this down so it's not big and sort of flopping around. So compression straps are definitely cool in this bag in this mode, whether it be range or go mode. But the other feature that I totally love about this, and I've used several times on my GR3, is if you have a longer item like this beautiful Beulah fly rod, you can totally travel with this thing lashed into the side. So any sort of longer items you could totally put in the side, and it's going to stay there. This thing actually has a little bit of a handle on it that I could get the compression strap, and it's definitely not even, it's totally secured in there. So you can put bigger items using those compression straps. So if there's a reason to put a compression straps on a smaller bag like that, if you're going to put one on the GR2 26 liter, this would be a reason I would do it, so I can carry my fly rod if I were to ever travel. And I've used that several times with the GR3. So compression straps are the number one. Number two is the Velcro, which we'll see inside. Number three, and I didn't even know this was the thing until I got it, not really that obvious, is that this middle layer has a frame sheet. It still has the frame sheet on the back that we're all familiar with on any of the GORUCK bags, but it also has a frame sheet in the middle layer, which is unusual. So this would be a negative if you decided to get this bag and use it sort of an everyday carry or travel mode, because that frame sheet's a little bit awkward as we get into it, you'll see, but that's the third thing. And really for this mode, I do love it because it just keeps it more rigid as you have things attached to that middle panel. And more about that when we open it up. But other exterior features, really it's identical to all the other GR2 40 liters except for the compression straps. Same back panel with a laptop compartment. And again, I love that because you can always put a laptop in here no matter how full it happens to be. No secret stash pocket. Sad trombone, but that's the way it is unless you get those special edition rucks. Webbing on the front, just again on the shoulder straps, and same beefy straps that you would find anywhere. I added the Evergoods sternum strap and some web dominators because if I needed to attach the bladder and you know, as if I'm out hiking, I could definitely attach that. So that's kind of things that I attached to this exterior American flag patch. And then some carabiners to the front, because carabiners are just useful items that you might, for various tasks, it's definitely cool to have. Side webbing on this, because I might actually include in the kit here the hip belt that would attach, and it was actually matching because I got this from my Rucker that's in the multicam black configuration, which, you know, one of my biggest headaches with GORUCK is you can't buy these individually, but because I have this for the same color, I'm going to match it. So that's going to be maybe something you'd want, and it would attach through the side webbing on the GR2s. So that's really it for the outside of the bag that I can think of that would be unique to this. Nothing, no, on this bag in particular, there's no ballistics on the bottom, no ballistic fabric, and that's really the end of the exterior parts of the GR2. So let's go to the inside of the GR2 40 liter shooter. That's where the magic really is. All right, so double duty, we're gonna look at the interior features and talk through Go mode all at the same time, because I've already had this packed out with several things, and it sort of highlights some of the awesome features that I love about this bag in particular. Before I do that, the inside of this front pocket, there is again, when you load out the inside of all these GR1, 2s, and 3s, this pocket is not normally that accessible when it's full, and this bag is no different. What do I have in my quick access outside pocket? Gloves. And so gloves are just universal. Carrying heavy things, places where you don't want to ding up your hands, the gloves are definitely a big keeper. And I put them right on the outside because that's the first thing I would get. You could maybe put some surgical gloves. I'm sure everyone has surgical gloves, or maybe masks all on the outside, because those are quick and easy items that you want to put. So those are probably things I'd put in my slash pocket. Let's open this main compartment now. Again, compression straps, big fan. And let's open it up to see what's in this other compartment. As we open it up, you'll see that it has the same panel. This interior panel is exactly like every other GR1, 2, and 3. It has this top same pockets. It has the mesh lower pocket and then the zip pocket on the top. And then, of course, it tells you what it is, GR2, built in the USA. And so that's it. This front panel, no different than any other GR2, identical. What do I have in here? Well, the top one is just some loose items. Actually, it doesn't have anything in it right now, because in the GR2s, I typically don't put a ton of items in there because I have this other pocket, which I'll get to in a second. And then I just have, what is in this mesh pocket? A bunch of glow sticks, red and white. So these things are awesome. You know, maybe the last ditch effort, if your battery ran out of juice, then you can just crack open some of these. And they're illuminated, the white and red, because red doesn't hurt your night vision, white for just, you know, I don't care, I'm in a tent, I just need to see, maybe read a book or figure out my next plan of action. But those are definitely good. Get those on Amazon. Again, like always, links in the description for most all this stuff, so you can pick it up if you want to outfit your go bag with similar things. Now we get into the real magic of what is GR2 in the shooter. And you can see that this whole front interior side is missing the pockets, and instead it has a Velcro back, which allows you to totally customize this thing however you want. The top pocket is identical to what you'll see on every GR2, and the front panel has a sewn in field pocket, essentially, not padded, but it's a field pocket like thing sewn into the bag, not removable, matching the rest of the colors. So this is cool, and it has some elastic pockets inside it, which we'll get to in a second. But again, this allows you to really do whatever you want. Camera gear, firearms, you name it. You can just put whatever you need to in this. This is actually empty. This is a while ago when GORUCK came out with firearms gear. They actually made field pockets with a Velcro back. And so I picked up one of these. I picked up the Echo size, and then I also have the GR1 size, which you'll see inside. But anyway, those are super cool because this is kind of grab and go. Rip it out, do whatever you need, maybe a first aid kit in here, then stick it in there, and it's not going to move as you're, transitioning between place to place. Also have some Maxpedition, just magazine carriers, and then a pistol carrier right here. You may have a holster, and maybe this wouldn't necessarily be how you would or maybe this is your backup gun, however you would do it. But these are all just firearm attachment gear that you can get on Amazon. I put the links down here in case you wanted to configure your bag the same. GORUCK has also made some. They're really not on back order. They were pre-order and they're not even released yet. So they don't create them very often. So I would just go somewhere else personally and get any other Velcro backed accessories to mount whatever you want into the bag. And so this is just the pistol. And then we'll talk about rifle stuff maybe on the inside. What do I have in this bag? So I really have protection. And I honestly wouldn't load a ton of stuff in this front panel because I don't want a lot of things here. I just want the things that I really want quickly. This could be that first aid kit, grab and go, or maybe it's ammo and magazines that are already loaded. And then I have additional magazines and then the backup pistol. So I didn't want a lot of things in here because, again, if you've got a pistol, you don't probably want a lot of other loose items around it. So that's just me. Inside this pocket, which again is really would be my quick access items, this along with whatever I had in here, maybe some quick charging things, etc. We got some sunglasses and protective eyewear. These are good for not just I'm going to use the pistol, but it's also at night to protect your eyes if you're in the woods, so that you're not, maybe you can't see all those branches that could poke in the eyes. Other quick access items, definitely a flashlight. This happens to be a Surefire flashlight. It's an aviator that does both bright white and in red. Again, red is super good at night because it doesn't ruin your night vision. And then, just whatever utility items you would need, whether it be knives or multi-tools, you name it. Lots of elastic mesh pocket areas so you can kind of deck this out with whatever items you wanted. One of my big tips on the GR2 is watch how you pack this, because this pocket will definitely impact. You can't pack out this and this pocket at the same time because it's just too much for you to be able to zip this comfortably. So just be careful. That's why I don't have anything here right now, because I was going to essentially pack out this pocket and not that one. So anyway, that's the front compartment on the GR2 Shooter Edition. And again, totally customizable on however you want to use that Velcro panel to put whatever it is, camera gear, firearms gear, or just a bunch of other stuff Velcroed in there for quick access. Now let's go to the big compartment, the main compartment in the GR2, and this is where you'll see some more very uniqueness to it. Really the most obvious is this front, again clamshell, is this main, these normally pockets on a GR2, but in this edition it's just pure Velcro. No webbing, just Velcro. So you could, one way you might do this is either break down your rifle and then put the pieces in here, lash it down, or maybe if a short barrel rifle, I don't know if you would get one this small, but you could definitely put it in here. And because this layer has a frame sheet behind it, not removable, but it's got a frame sheet sewn in, it's going to keep all your gear from sort of waving around and getting messed up. So you would definitely, this frame sheet is definitely cool for range mode or firearm mode, or definitely in go mode, because it kind of just keeps it more rigid as you're trying to access different things. If it was a travel bag for me, I wouldn't probably like this, but you may love the fact that it has a frame sheet, and it's pretty thick. So it's the same frame sheets in the back, so 2 frame sheets in the GR2. What do I have in here? I just have some extra items that maybe some backup stuff. So if I wanted another pistol in the front, I could do that. So I just stuck some extraneous gear here for right now because I have other things Velcroed to the back, which I'll show you right now. The main compartment is here. Right now it's kind of a grab bag of stuff. And so let's go through this in sort of pieces and parts. First of all, big fan of the boogie bag from GORUCK. And this is sort of my, you know, hey, I'm going to ditch the bag. I'm going to be out and about, put snacks, do something. This is the kind of the perfect size. Goes right around the waist. You could also do chest carry if you wanted, but for me it's going to be along the waist and carry some, probably my quick access items, phone, maybe a camera, etc. That's kind of the way I use it. So I definitely wanted it in this bag, my go bag packing list, just so I would have it on the move. This is, and again, a dry bag. So I've got just probably 3 or 4 of these Sea to Summit dry bags packed up in one, so it's multiple, and because I can really pack out whatever I wanted and keep it dry. My phone, keys, wallet, anything. If it's going to be a downpour, definitely going to probably double bag it in a dry bag. And so dry bags are just universally good for just about anything. Probably food and snacks, if I had to guess. Headwear, because it could be sunny wherever you happen to be. You know, GORUCK made some shimigas, so you can totally wrap yourself out and protect yourself from the elements with that. So that's pretty cool. And then a boonie hat. Well, I had one. Why not put it in this bag? So this is a Pelican case that I used for GORUCK events in the past. There's nothing in it right now, but this would probably be a good place for me to store the cell phone. I don't know if it fits. The Max doesn't fit this size, but whatever other items that you didn't want crushed, and you know, batteries or something like that, put them in here, keep it dry, and then again, it's definitely a good go bag item. Hydration I mentioned at the front end. So what's in here? Well, a hydration bladder. So I'm a big fan of the Camelback versions. So this is a, you know, a water supply, so I could fill this up, put it in the back of this, and use it and be ready for whatever. I also have these Platypus collapsible, reusable water bottles, which I got a couple in here. I had them for camping, so why not just store them in this bag? Because if I'm not camping, they might as well be in here and useful to fill up with water before I go. To be honest, if I was in go mode and to stay hydrated, I'm probably going to pack a case of water, have it in the garage so that I can have that quickly thrown into my vehicle if I didn't have it already in there. And then, you know, once I got on the move, I could pack up the water bladder and all the other water bottles, have it so I have plenty of water on me as I go. But the water in the case would be probably a good thing to have on hand regardless of the situation. So that's hydration. What are these other two? Well, a first aid kit. Definitely recommend picking up a first aid kit. This is, again, just Velcroed in, really loud, Velcroed in so it doesn't move around. You can get these on Amazon, and they just have anything, sort of just a basic trauma kit. If I'm going to get anything and I have firearms with me, I'm going to definitely make sure I have chest seals and tourniquets. So whatever you get, make sure it has those. If it doesn't have those, pick up a tourniquet and chest seal, put them in here so that you have some of those bigger trauma kits, because again, if you have firearms. But this would be something, definitely want to have some sort of first aid in some capacity, whether it's just light bandages or a trauma kit. I would definitely want to have something with me because it's go mode, it's go day, it's emergencies, let's do this, whether it's zombie apocalypse or some other reason. The last thing is, like I said, I have two of these. This is the GR1 size. In here is just a bunch of random items that I would say are utility items. So what are they? Well, first of all, I would get lots of nylon webbing. This happens to be nylon webbing with little attachment points that you could put on the webbing. So I could put these on the front, and then I could really use this to attach just about anything to it. I had these for GORUCK events for a long time, just because you never know when you're going to need to carry odd objects and have nothing. So it's always good to have something to figure out a way to carry those things, and so I've got several of those. And then a web belt, because I don't know if I'm going to run out in boxers or athletic shorts and want to have a belt to attach a holster, you name it. So it's probably a good idea to have a belt with you along with your other clothes. And again, I'd probably have some clothes in here as well. So before I go with the interior features, I wanted to show you the back panel of the GR2 40 liter. And this has, again, one of the main differences is the fact that it's, first of all Velcro, so you can put whatever you wanted. But what if Velcro wasn't going to cut it and you wanted to actually put in using the PALS webbing? And this has both, and it's got Velcro webbing, so you could do whatever you want. So I think that's a huge benefit to this bag. I really like the way they did that. And their other shooter bags have similar designs in the back, but this is really cool, and again, just allows you to customize this thing however you wanted. And if you wanted something easily removable with Velcro, use it. If you wanted something permanently mounted, not permanent, but semi-permanent, you could definitely put it in there with the PALS webbing, so that's really cool. D-ring in there, so if you wanted to go hydration mode, you could definitely hang your bladder in there amongst everything else. So that's it. That's the interior features of the GR2. So there you go. That's the GR2 Shooter Edition. Really cool version of their GR2 bags. Still available on their website today, so you can go check those out because man, it really makes the best go bag. Whether the 40 liter size is for you or not, I mean, that's of course debatable. When I was packing it out, it sort of is one of those like sponge theory things, like, well, I've got all this room, I'm gonna find all this stuff in there. So I would offer that you should be disciplined with whatever you want to take on your go bag list. So just make a list, check it twice, and then, you know, pack it out and have it ready. It's also debatable whether you want such a nice and expensive bag as your GORUCK bag, like, or your go bag, because are you really going to use it routinely? I don't know. That's a good input. Maybe you just want some of that cheap JanSport or whatever bag that you had just laying around collecting dust, load that up with your stuff and just throw it in your truck. I don't know. But if you really wanted to go indestructible, do anything sort of bag, then the GR2 40 liter Shooter Edition would definitely be probably one of my top picks, just because of the utility of it with the Velcro and the total customizable nature of the bag. And again, you could use it as a total camera hauler for you because of all the Velcro attachments, and then you could buy a bunch of Velcro camera holders and put them in there. So anyway, hopefully you liked that review of the GR2 Shooter Edition. This one's the 40 liter side. Lots of Velcro, lots of ways to trick this thing out for whatever you wanted to do, whether it's a camera bag, go bag, firearms gear, you name it. This can do anything. It's got a way to customize it for you. And there's a lot of aftermarket accessories that you could use both on Amazon and from GORUCK and other manufacturers to really make use of that GORUCK fabric, or that GORUCK to take use or to make use of all of that Velcro. So hopefully you liked that video. Give it a thumbs up. We got more videos coming in the coming weeks, so stay tuned. Sign up for alerts. Give this video a thumbs up. Helps people see the channel. And we'll see you next time as we enjoy the winners. All right, first up, let's talk about